So the date today is Thursday, the 24th of January 2019, and I thought I would create this video talking about the Panasonic GH5 camera and is it still a worthwhile camera to buy in 2019? And if you want the short and quick answer, yes. Yes, it is, and if that's all you wanted to hear, then thanks for watching, but you can now stick around and actually watch the main reasons why this camera is still a relevant camera in 2019. So over the past 12 months, the GH5 camera is the only camera I've been using to create content on both of my YouTube channels, from this channel with my kind of reviews and tutorials to my Barbster360 channel, which is all about cinematic content and travel. So I really feel like I know this camera inside out, from these sit-down studio-based videos to really run and gun, real life, real world travel situations on my Barbster360 channel. And I should probably say as well that all of the content you're pretty much going to see will be content from my Barbster360 channel. So if you're not subscribed, go over and subscribe to that channel, because we've got so much travel content over there, and that is all of the content I'm going to be cutting in to kind of show off why this camera is still so good in 2019. So I'm going to split the reasons into 5 different sections, starting off with number 1, and that is IBIS, the inbuilt image stabilization. And I think everybody knows by now that inbuilt image stabilization built right into this camera is incredible. Pair that with a image stabilized lens and you've got some incredible rock solid footage just by shooting handheld. Even when we're zooming all the way in, the footage looks incredible. We can even turn on video lock to get rock solid footage right outside of the camera without the need of a tripod, but the footage looks like the camera was on a tripod, which is quite incredible, especially when we're like doing run and gun travel type content. You can just grab a shot, get a rock solid image. It's even ideal for weddings. I've shot a wedding on this camera, and to be at the back of the church and zoom right in, not even having a tripod, but it makes it look like you're filming on a tripod. IBIS is incredible in this camera. And number 2 is the design and build of the actual camera itself, and basically it is such a small, lightweight camera, again perfect for that run and gun style. You're not being weighed down by a heavy body or heavy lenses, because it's a micro four thirds camera. The lenses are so much smaller and lighter as well, so we're not lugging loads and loads of stuff around with us, and the body is weather sealed, meaning that we can put this camera into pretty much any situation without it actually breaking. For instance, you could be next to a waterfall getting covered in mist and rain, or you can be in the middle of Thailand kayaking across the sea or on a sandy beach. We don't have to worry about any of the elements getting inside of the camera and breaking it. It also has dual card slots, meaning we can have 2 SD cards in the camera at once. We can then go into the menu setting and set up the camera how we want to save onto those cards. For instance, you could have video on one and pictures on another. You could have it to duplicate, so you have both the same copies on both SD cards, which is really great if you're going to be shooting weddings. It also has a flip out screen, which is so useful if you're going to be doing some vlog type content, but also really useful if you're going to be filming high or filming low. You can articulate the arm around to get the shot without having to bend down and look underneath the camera, and have it coming out on the side means that we can still use a shotgun microphone on the top. Also, the battery life is amazing on this camera, and if I'm out and about filming when we're traveling around, I pretty much only need 1 battery, which will last me pretty much the whole of the day. I always take a spare battery just in case, but 1 battery pretty much lasts me a whole day. And like I said, being micro four thirds makes the lenses a lot lighter, a lot smaller, and also a lot cheaper when you want to buy new lenses, so it helps keep your budget and your price down. And number 3 is the built-in features that this camera has to offer, which surprisingly a lot of cameras in the same price bracket just don't offer these same features, and there's basically 3 of them which really stand out for me. And number 1 is time lapses built right into this camera, so we can actually set the parameters, the duration, or how many frames we want to take a time lapse for, and it's just built into this camera, which makes it so quick and easy to capture time lapses. Most other cameras you need to buy a intervalometer, I think that's how you say it, which is like another £100 device which clicks onto the camera to capture time lapses, where this does it internally inside of the camera. And the second one is zebras, meaning that we can keep an eye on our exposure to make sure that we don't overexpose anything. And the third one is peaking. Having these features built into the camera makes it so quick, easy, and efficient to use this camera. And number 4 is resolution and frame rates. And you probably already know, but if you don't, the GH5 can capture 4K at 60 frames a second, which is still an incredible feat, especially in 2019. Not many cameras are actually offering 4K at 60. The GH5 has offered it for a very, very long time, ever since it's been released. So that is one of the main reasons why people love this camera. 4K at 60 frames a second. We can then slow that 60 frames a second down to say 30 or 25 frames a second. You've got half speed 4K footage, which looks incredible. Also, it offers 10-bit internal recording with no external recorder. For such a small little camera, a small body that the GH5 is, 10-bit, 60 frames, 4K. But for me personally, and probably my most used feature built into the GH5, is the ability to film 120 frames slow motion. I love filming slow motion. Everything looks so buttery smooth, so cinematic, so gorgeous, so beautiful. I film so much cutaway content at 120 frames. Admittedly, it is at 1080, it's not in 4K, but that 1080 content, that slow motion 1080 content looks so good that when we actually upscale it to 4K, most people have no idea that it's 1080 content upscaled. It just fits in with the 4K content. So super slow motion 120 frames is pretty much my most used feature with this camera. And finally, number 5, and that is the price. And you can pick up the GH5 with the Leica 12 to 60mm lens for £1,700, which is such a good buy. Now, it might not sound cheap to some people, that might sound quite expensive, but trust me, when you actually look at all of those features and you look at how cheap the actual GH5 is and compare it to other models in the same price bracket, the features on those other cameras don't even come close to the GH5, and the rivals to the GH5 are pretty much like £1,000 more expensive. So the GH5 is in such a good price bracket to have all of those features built into the camera. Such a good buy still in 2019. So those are my main reasons why the GH5 is still such a relevant camera in 2019. But like I said at the very beginning of this video, I have solely been using this camera over the past 12 months, so I might be slightly biased. I personally don't think I am, but I'd love to know if you disagree with me. Let me know in the comment section down below what you disagree with me and what camera do you prefer over the GH5. Trying to keep it, you know, in the same price bracket and the same features. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you want to, go over to my travel channel, my Barbster360 channel, to see all of our travel cinematic content over there. And if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button to follow more filmmaking, tutorial, review type videos. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a big fat thumbs up. And until next time, keep on creating.